Hello everyone! I'm back! It's me, Dilly Sims, and today I have a fun speed build for you guys on this wonderful Sunday. So, I know it's been forever since I've uploaded a speed build, so you guys don't know what's going on with me in my life. Well, Thursday I did put up, or was it Friday? Everything was delayed because of, and I'll talk about that. So, it's been forever since I've put up a speed build, and I do not count my home renovations, or what is it called? Unconventional home as a speed build. I mean, technically it's a speed build, but I have a pre-existing structure to work with. And for my speed builds, I don't. It's all just off the top of my head, whatever I want to build. Whatever I am inspired to do. So, this week I was watching, what is it called? Star Wars. The original Star Wars. Star Wars episode 4? Yes, 4. And if you've watched the movie, Luke Skywalker lives in the desert. I forget which. If you guys are advocate Star Wars fans, you're gonna hate me for this. I don't know which planet it is, but the desert one. I know Hoth. I only know Hoth. And I know the Hoth is the snow planet. That's the only planet I know. But the desert planet, and Luke and his aunt and his uncle live in a underground type of house thing where, like, Luke can stand above ground and, like, call down to his aunt in their little, like, outdoor space. And so that inspired me to build this underground home. But I didn't want it to be like Luke Skywalker's, of course, where it's all desert, and in the movie there's a, like, I don't even know what it is. They don't even talk about it. In my speed build, there's like a water fountain in the middle of the open space. But in Star Wars, there's like this technology pole thing. I don't even know what it's called because they don't talk about it. But I started with it, and then I ended up creating this, like, boho, bohemian. This, like, boho chic house that's, like, partially underground that, like, hippies would love. I mean, I would love it. This is a great house to live in. It's very, I want to say, eco-friendly, but there's also a touch of modern, so it's not like you completely lose sense of, I don't want to say the outside world, but the outside world. The kitchen is my favorite part because I love to make kitchens in The Sims 4. There's just so much stuff. I know I've ranted about this 3,000 times, but it's just great. There's so much to work with. And I just absolutely love this house. The way it turned out, it's kind of surprising. It sounds really stupid, but when I build something, I do have, like, an idea in mind, but sometimes it changes, if that makes any logical sense to any of you guys. And then it ends up being this huge different thing. Like, I start with something, and then I add a few things, and then I come up with the new ideas, and then when I build a house, I come up with, like, not a storyline, but, like, an idea of who might live in this house. So, my idea for who lives in this house is, like, these, not hippies, but they're like hippies, but they're more modern. They're not gonna be like, peace and love, dude, let's smoke weed and, like, dance to native pan flute music, dude. You know, they're not like people you're gonna hate. They're like actual cool people who like to do yoga and light some, like, a few of those incense stuff, burny thingies, to make it smell good. And they are very eco-friendly, but they're not, you know, like, gonna not shower for 4 or 5 days. I mean, the master bedroom has a great ensuite. It's still very earthy, but it's like a spa. That is how, like, these people live. They live very earthy, but they're very modern at the same time. And that's what I wanted to do, was collab those, modern and, like, earthy hipster. And boom, I came up with this. Is this what I was expecting? No. But still came out great. And I usually hate outdoor spaces. Like, I've said this before in other speed builds, my unconventional home, I think I said this, but it's just, I don't like building stuff outside. Like patios and, you know, backyards. I don't spend my Sims, like if I play for myself, my Sims do not go outside. Ever. Because they're trying to build a life. And ain't nobody got time to go outside and enjoy their time, you know? Unless they have a hot tub and then they go outside to woohoo and therefore make kids to continue their, like, legacy or whatever. Oh, it took me so long to figure out this, like, little room. The door, what it's gonna look like. Because I wanted it to look like a little cottage, but I hated every single door that they had. I actually forgot what I put. What did I put? I feel like I used that door. Did I? Oh, I didn't even make a thumbnail for this. I guess that's another thing I have to do before I turn in for the night, because I'm recording this the night before it goes up, so... Very, very lucky me, you know? Interesting. I don't even... Let me be honest with you guys, I recorded this like a few weeks ago. Like before my computer crashed and everything, and then I had to figure that out. So I don't remember building this. But I do remember that I was at my friend's house, so it took me like 3 times longer to actually build this. Like a lot longer than it normally would take me. I think when I initially put the video into Movie Maker, it said it was like close to 4 hours long, and I was like, no, this isn't real. I can't talk for 4 hours. Oh, I love do you see what I did there with the, like, shelf? So therefore it looks like one long pole thing holding up the curtains. I came up with that once when I was building for myself. Best, most genius idea ever. Because that way, it looks like one long pole holding up the thing instead of 2 poles that are kind of separated just a little bit. And they would be separated just a little bit. And the living room. I am so proud of the living room. Gosh, every time I stop for like a few seconds, it scares me because I'm like, oh no, I have to edit it out. But the living room is again a cross between earthy hipster and modern. So like where the TV sits is amazing, but there's also a little area in the room for you to like meditate and do yoga. So, you know, you could find your inner chi. That's not what it's called. Yeah, maybe it is. I think it is. You know what's horrible is that I'm taking a yoga class and I don't know what it's called. You could find your inner chi and still enjoy the big flat screen TV. It's super awesome and I love it. I don't know why it's not showing me going through, you know, like the options, or not the options, the items menu and picking stuff out, but you kind of have an idea of what we're going through, kind of. I mean, you can't see what I have, but you know, you get to see the most important thing, me building. And I know how like stuck up and snooty that sounds, but you get to see the most important thing, which is the build. Not what I have, because you'd have to like pause and go through everything that I own. Which is a hassle in itself. But look at this, guys. This is like the smartest thing I've ever came up with, and I'm so proud of myself. And I know how it sounds, and I'm so sorry that I'm taking so long to build this. Because I didn't think I was taking so long to build it, but obviously I'm slow. Like, I'm not really doing anything. Oh, I'm changing the color of the room. Like, being that there's no thing at the bottom to, like, no, not the options, what is it called? the build/buy mode options, furniture, being that doesn't exist, it kind of like feels as though I'm not purchasing or doing anything for a long period of time, which is not true because I am going through the items or the objects that I have, looking for stuff to put in, which really bugs me because if you guys can see it when I put this on YouTube, you're like, Dylan, you sound stupid, what's wrong? I can't see it right now in Movie Maker, and it's really bugging me, and I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on because, like I said, it's really bugging me. And if there's a way for me to fix it, great. If not, then I'm just gonna try to build stuff even quicker without spending a long time going through items, because going through items for a long period of time makes it look like I don't know what I want, and it looks like I'm not doing anything, which you guys can see that I am. And this little space that I'm working on is the like meditation area of the room. So like I told you, you get a nice little cross between earthy, hipster, I was gonna say hobo, but that's not the proper term. What did I call it earlier? Hipster? No, it's not hipster. I keep wanting to call it hipster when that's not true. Hipster, hippie! I called it a hippie. Hippie, hipster, same thing. So yes, like I said, this room is a nice little cross between hippie / modern. So it's not like you're just gonna, there's gonna be dirt on the floor and there's shitty rugs all over the place and you're like, love Earth Mother. No. You still have a nice flat screen TV and really nice couches in case you want to. And I think a bookshelf. Yeah, I think I put a bookshelf in there too. And a desk in case you want to do desk work. But I love that little workout space. I couldn't have asked for anything better. It just looks so great. And so, oh my gosh, I really hate that it looks like I'm not doing anything for like a few seconds, because it looks like I'm not doing anything when I really am going through all of my objects, looking to see what I could probably purchase. I'm gonna snip a couple of this stuff out because it's taking too long. Never mind, I tried to like 12 times right now. Like I paused the video to cut some stuff out, and it just wouldn't let me. So I am so sorry that you're gonna watch the entire thing, but feel free to skip. I won't be mad. I do have some stories to tell you guys, so stay tuned for that, because my stories are interesting this week. Usually I have nothing to tell you guys, but this week I have a lot to tell you guys. So, let me start off by saying this was the literal worst week of my life, and I have been alive for almost 21 years. It was horrible. So Monday it started off great. Great-ish. It was just a normal day, and I went to work, and I mean, work is but still. And I was scheduled to work this whole entire week, but I didn't. I had Thursday and Friday off for my sister's graduation, but we had to cancel it for some things that I'm going to tell you guys right now about. So, Tuesday morning, I wake up, my alarm goes off at 6 because I have yoga class at 8, so it takes me about an hour to get ready for anything in life. Work, whatever, so I have to leave my house around between 7 and 7:15 for me to make it to my yoga class at 8. So I have to wake up 2 hours before the class starts. And I've been doing that for, I don't know, a long time now. And a long time being 2 weeks. 2 weeks. A long time being 2 weeks. And so I got up, and usually it takes me like 15 minutes to get out of bed. I lay in bed, look at my clock, question all of my decisions in life, like how I got to working at a company that I no longer care about. And yes, how I ended up going to school, everything in my life, I question, because I'm like, God, how did I get here? Not saying that I have such a horrible life, because it's pretty great. But, so, I like it, and then I get on my phone and look through YouTube, and I play a video game on there for a little bit, depending what game. Now I'm playing The Sims, free play. Where was I? So then I finally got out of bed, and my sister was taking a shower. She beat me to the shower, and I was like, shoot, okay, I guess I'll go eat breakfast. So I went downstairs, and I ate a piece of cheesecake. I know that's not a healthy breakfast, but tough shit. So I went to the fridge, got a piece of cheesecake out, and then I was eating, and my mom came home early, and she starts work around 5:30. Yes, she starts work at 5:30, but she came home early, and remember I woke up at 6, so it's like 6:20 right now. And she came home early, and she was crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? So my cousin died. And this is like not only just any random cousin, because I have a lot of random cousins that I don't quite care for. Like, I don't care if they live or die, and I know how horrible that sounds, but it's not like I'm close to them. It's not like they're close to me either. So they'd probably feel the same way about me. Like, this cousin, my cousin Louisa, helped raise me as a kid. Like, she was a teacher at my school, so she helped me with schoolwork, because my parents are... I love them, but they're not smart. And they're not smart when it comes to math. And my mom only went through... Okay, my dad has no excuse. He could definitely be smart. He's just not. He graduated high school, and that's it. My mom went to school in the Azores from 1st to 6th grade, and then she didn't go back to school ever again until she met my dad. And then she went to night school to get her high school diploma. So when I was in elementary school, tot, my mom got her high school diploma. Very proud of her. Oh yeah, so my cousin, helped me with everything. Every time my parents had to go somewhere, she babysat. I love my cousin. And so what happened was, she's had diabetes for a very, very long time. And she went to the hospital because she was going to have her feet started, 5 years ago, her feet started to, one of her feet, her left one, started to turn gray, so they had to amputate it. And she's been living in a wheelchair ever since. And she's had to go through dialysis and multiple surgeries. And she recently went to the hospital again because one of her toes started to turn gray. So they went to amputate that one. And it's not she didn't make it through that. She did make it through that, but the doctors don't know. They just said her heart stopped. And she died. The day that my mom came home early, her husband went to go see her at the hospital, and she was already dead. And that's when we found out. It was just a very long day. Like, I skipped class, my yoga class, and then I also skipped my math class because if there's no point of just driving a 45-minute drive to make it to one class to drive another 45 minutes back, especially if the class is only an hour and a half. That's basically the time driving. So then I went to my aunt's house, and she just cried and cried and cried because, her daughter died. And then I was scheduled to work a 2-hour shift. And I was like, okay, I really don't want to go to work, but don't want to call in sick because most likely I'm going to have to call in sick later. And I knew I had to call in sick because my boss is not the best person. And I'm speaking from experience. I know 100% in my heart that if I told her, because the funeral is Tuesday. The Tuesday is the rosary. I think it's just a Catholic thing. And then Wednesday is the funeral. and you do the rosary before the funeral. So Tuesday, I have to get off of work, and I know for a fact if I text my boss or call her and say I can't because I have to go to a rosary, she's gonna tell me to find my own coverage. Which, personally, I think is bullshit because I am dealing with the loss of somebody right now. I shouldn't have to have the responsibility to find somebody to cover my shift. As my boss, you should just be like, oh, okay, I'll find you coverage. I'm so sorry for your loss. But that's not a reality at my place of work. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes. I was scheduled for a 2-hour shift. So I was like, okay, never mind. I'm just gonna do it. It's only 2 hours of my life. I can come home and just stop the rest of my day, basically. Not really do much. Except, you know, lay around the house and... I didn't cry, because I'm not the type of person who cries. I really don't like emotions, and I know how horrible that sounds, but I just come home and, like, deal with it and basically sulk. But I was at work, and that day I was scheduled to do coffee stuff. And coffee stuff means I go across the street, and okay, you guys don't know where I work. Where I work, and it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation that goes all across the world, and I can't name the name of the company yet. Maybe one day when I leave. But, oh, yes, across the street is our corporate office. Because we have our visitor center where I work, and the corporate office across the street where people who work in IT, information technology, works. Supply chain, that's where they work. Accounting, customer service, and yada 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 yada. All those, like, behind the desk jobs work there. And so I had to go across the street and restock their coffee. Because each department, like accounting, IT, they have their own little pods, also, but they're like kitchens, but they're called pods. And in their little kitchens, they have their coffee stuff, creamers, coffee filters, sleeves, cups, lids, stirring sticks, sugar, all that stuff. And I restock that once a week, because if not, Lord forbid, because they can't work if there's no vanilla creamer. And that stuff is the first thing to go all the time. It's like they drink vanilla creamer. But besides that, that's not the story I'm telling today. So I went and I had to go to work, and I had to open boxes after boxes box after box after box, and, you know, unload stuff, load stuff up, and restock. And so halfway through my towards the very end of my shift, I go, oh my gosh, where are my car keys? So I searched for a good hour. So at this point, I was at work for 3.5 hours, and I was like, oh god, I can't find my keys. I don't know where they are, but I need to get home. What am I gonna do? And I just gave up at this point, because I searched for about an hour and a half everywhere that I was. Or everywhere that I went. Everywhere that I was, same thing. And so I went online to see who I could call in case this stuff happens. And I found this website, and they were like, oh, tell us where you are, give us your address, and we can see if we can find somebody to go over there and make you a key. And I was like, great. They call me back. Oh, there's no one in your area that we can send to you. And I was like, great, thank you so much. So then I called, because my car is a Honda, the Honda dealership, and the guy said, what's your car? What year is your car? What make and model? And I was like, a 2001 Honda Accord. It's like, your car's too old. You're gonna have it towed over to the building to us so we can make you a new key and program it. And I was like, Jesus H. Christ. So then I called a tow truck to tow my car from my place of work over to the Honda dealership. And so then the tow truck arrives after like 45 minutes of waiting. And the tow truck driver looks at my car and he goes, "So, your car's too low. I can't tow it." And I was like, oh my god, you've got to be shitting me. Because if you did tow my car, the back, or the bumper, would scrape the entire way. And I was like, fine. And he's like, "Let me call dispatch and send another tow truck to you." And I was like, okay, thank you so much. And then I get a text message that my next tow truck would be here in an hour. So I spent like 6 hours at work, and I don't want to be at work in the first place because my cousin died. So then I spent 6 hours at work, and everyone thought I was stupid for being there for 6 hours. Ugh, it was just the worst day ever. And then I finally get to the Honda dealership, and the place is closed. But luckily they had this like early bird thing. So you get there and you dump off your car if you need it to be fixed or something. And there's an envelope, and on the envelope there's all this information that you could fill out, and then you stick it in there. And the next day they called me and they were like, "Okay, we can get your card fixed, not your car fixed, we can make you a new key, it'll be ready around 2. It was like 4 in the afternoon when they called me, but that's fine. No wait, it wasn't, it was like 3. Yes, it was like 3. So it was an hour later, not too bad. And I was like, thank you so much. It's just so great that I can finally get my car fixed. And they fixed it and everything went great. And then I went to school Thursday. And I get a phone call during my yoga class, which I didn't pick up because I didn't know, A, my phone rang, and B, you're not supposed to have your phone out during yoga class. The janitor found my car keys 2 days later after I paid to get a new set of car keys made. That was my entire week. It was just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. It was so horrible. But I'm hoping next week will be better. And yeah. And I really hope next week's gonna be better, but I highly doubt it's gonna be better because I have the funeral, and I have work, and everything. School, which I have to tell my professors that I can't make it to class because my cousin died. Which, I mean, I hope they'll believe me. I'm a pretty good kid. My yoga teacher, not to brag, but she loves me. She knows my name. It's great, but I'm not bragging. And normally, when you go to college, you realize that your teachers do not give a shit about you. They do not care whether you live or die. They do not care to know your name. I have had teachers who they're like, "Okay, I'm gonna call your name, and you have to come pick up your paper because I don't know you, because I don't know your names." He literally said that in class, and I was like, okay, respectable. I respect you for telling us that you don't care enough about us to remember our names. Sure, it's not like high school where I'm like, all my teachers love me and want me to succeed. Yeah, no, that's not the reality in college. Let me tell you about that right now, young people. If you guys are young and going into college right now, that is the reality. Your professors do not care about you. Okay, so the receptionist at my place of work is a few years older than me, and she's been going to college, of course, longer than I have. And I think she's taking online classes right now. But when I was working with her, because she used to work with me in the visitor center, she had to take like work leave or whatever, like she couldn't come to work for a few months because she had back surgery for scoliosis. And so she got, surgery, she couldn't work, she couldn't pick up heavy objects. And so she was in college and she told one of her professors, I'm so sorry, but I can't pick up my textbooks because I had surgery. So, is there any way that you could accommodate me? And the professor basically told her, sorry, you're gonna have to figure that one out yourself. And when she told me that, I was livid because it's horrible to think that anyone would treat another human that way. Just be like, sorry, tough shit. You had surgery, so you have to figure out that stuff yourself. Drop out if you want. It's horrible to think that anyone would do that, but that's like a reality in college. That stuff really does happen, where your teachers go, who cares about you? I've had a teacher do that to me kind of once. One time I was driving to class, and like I told you, it's a 45-minute drive, and I have to take the freeway. And so I'm driving to school. It was a really good day, and this was like a 6:30 a.m. class. So I was already tired. But I'm driving, and I get on the freeway. The moment I hit the freeway, boom, traffic. Like really bad, bumper to bumper, stop traffic at 6:30 in the... No, it wasn't even 6:30 in the morning. It was like 5. Like 5:30 in the morning. And so I was stuck in traffic forever. And I was late 7 minutes to class. I was 7 minutes late to class. And it was really close to final. So my professor talked about everything for the final. Want to know when? During the 7 minutes I was late to class. And I asked him after class if he could go over, just touch base with me really quick of what he talked about. And he said, well, you're going to want to ask one of your classmates. Okay, if you follow my channel, you know that I do not talk to anyone in my classes. Doesn't matter what class I am taking, but I do not talk to anyone because everyone in junior college is a freak. And I'm not even joking. These are like 30-plus-year-old men and women who go and play Pokemon the card game during their free time. So I do not go out of my way to talk to anyone because they're all freaks, and B, I'm not there to make friends. And after he said that, I turned around, and guess what? Everyone was gone. There was no one in class. So I was like, shoot, I can't even talk to anyone. So I basically just like hoped and prayed that he would eventually go over all the stuff again, because it was like not the week before finals, but the week before, so 2 weeks before finals, and he went over it again, and I was so happy. No, it was the week before finals, but just like 2 days before finals. Yeah, something like that. And he went over it again, which I was so happy because I was so afraid that I was gonna miss all the important information. But yeah, teachers do not care about you at all when it comes to college. And it's just absolutely horrible to see that, like, they're gonna treat young people like that. I understand that, you know, when you get out into the real world, it sucks. Like, no one cares about you. Stuff does not go easy for you. It's just a huge, huge punch in the face. Everything is a huge punch in your face in the real world. Like, nothing comes easy. Nobody cares whether you, like, succeed or fail. Yeah. Sorry, I'm, like, shitting all over this video. Okay, so I am coming kind of close-ish to the end of the video. I'm just furnishing outside stuff. And after I'm done furnishing this outside stuff, like adding plants, which that's what I call furnishing, I guess, is doing the yard work. Once I'm done with this yard work stuff, I'm gonna end the video. So, I am so sorry that I spent so long talking. I'm sorry that this was the longest video ever, and there were a lot of moments where it looked like I paused when I really wasn't paused. I was going through my objects to see what I have so I can place them. But let me know what you guys think of this house in the comment section. Let me know what you think I should build. Like, subscribe, comment, do all those fun YouTube things. And I will catch you all next time. Bye, everybody. Screenshots will be coming soon, I promise.